What's up, everybody? We're getting closer and closer because it's about that time for this football to be kicked off. You're rocking and rolling right here on a Wednesday, hump day, hottest show in the streets. For your Bama football news, in my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Happy to have you guys in here on today. I know we're coming to you from the home location. We'll be back in studio on Friday. But do me a quick favor, you guys. You guys go off in the comment section tonight. We're taking your comments. We're getting your comments right here on the show. Hit that like button. Smash the like button. Hit that subscribe button. Make this your show, your spot, your place, your platform for all things Bama football. That daily super chat go $100 daily. Super chat go $100 right there. We appreciate that coming from all of you. We're now, what's it like, 10 days now? 10 days from Alabama, Western Kentucky, inside Bryant-Denny Stadium to open the Crimson Tide's 2024 college football season. But I'm going to get some of your comments right now to start the show. Before we dive into topic number one, as always, my guy, Roll Tide and Rise Up with a Roll Tide family. Appreciate Roll Tide and Rise Up right there. We got Lorenzo Anderson. Roll Tide, Rise Up. Let's do it. Let's do it. We got my guy, Bama Man with an RTR. He's Roll Tide with everybody. Appreciate Bama Man. We got my guy, Rick Ivory with the Roll Tide. Appreciate you, Rick, being in here. We got Damon Davis, better known as Bama Boy, with that Bama Nation. What's good? Happy to have you in here, Damon. Lorenzo Anderson comes back almost that time. We're almost at time for that football to kick off. We're in that football season right now. Almost that time for football. We got Bama Man writes in, back-to-back SEC champs incoming. Roll Tide, roll. Bama trying to defend that SEC championship crown. Absolutely. Coach Juan with the Roll Tide. Appreciate you, Coach Juan, being in here. We got Tytravius Willingham with the Roll Tide. Roll Tide to Tytravius. Happy to have you in here, brother. We got my man DP Don Parker. Roll Tide, everyone. Good evening. Happy to have you in here, Don. Absolutely. We got my man Damon Davis back in. Hey, Steven, I'm a truck driver. I told my employee I need off next Saturday. Don't want to miss anything. Roll Tide. Let's go in 10 days. Damon, I'm hoping your employer listens to you, give you that first Saturday off of that football season. Coach Warren writes back in, breaking news, Lank song coming your way. Hey, let's get that Lank, baby. That big Bama, that Lank. We got Timothy Reed with that Lank. Got to throw it up that one time, the Lank right there. Don Parker writes in, 10 more days we roll. Bama football does roll in T-minus 10 days. We got Robert Hale in here. Roll Tide, roll. Let's go, Robert. Happy to have you in here. Christian Hughes, Roll Tide. Stephen M, Roll Tide to you, Christian. All of you guys in here. Happy to have you guys in here. The big news to start off, it happened yesterday. Alabama got a marquee running back commitment for the class of 2025. Ackland Deer or Keelan Deer, however he pronounces his name. Deer is in here from Quitman High School in Mississippi. So Keelan Deer giving that commitment to the Crimson Tide on yesterday. That's awesome. He joins Anthony Turbo Rogers from Carver High School in Montgomery, Alabama. I understand a lot of people had concerns about, with Deer committing, does this mean Bama loses Turbo Rogers? No. I think because of the fact that Alabama is going to play Quay Russaw and James Smith, both of those two young men from Carver High School in Montgomery as well, I feel like that would be more than enough to keep Anthony Turbo Rogers intact in Tuscaloosa, where this 2025 class is concerned. Rick Ivory writes in, we gonna shock the world. All right then, Rick. I feel you on that. We gonna shock the world. Morty M writes in, Roll Tide Roll. Appreciate you being in here, Morty. Damon Davis writes in, Kagan DeBoer killing it on the recruiting trail. I thought I told y'all. Oh yeah, no Diddy. Hey, no Diddy exactly. No Diddy exactly. We got that link from Rick Ivory. Absolutely. Kagan DeBoer is killing it on the recruiting trail. The other piece of big news, Kagan DeBoer also made sure Courtney Morgan got that bag, that 3 years, $825,000 bag right there for one Courtney Morgan, who is the general manager for the Crimson Tide. Big there in recruiting. So big ups to the Courtney Morgan. He got that bag. USC tried to take him. But Kagan DeBoer and Greg Byrne made sure they dropped that bag on Courtney Morgan to make sure he doesn't go anywhere aside from Tuscaloosa. Rick Ivory writes in, Coach Debo, because we going to punk them all. There we go, baby. There we go. Bama, shocking the world here. Joseph Higginbottom writes in, Roll Tide, roll. Bama family, Roll Tide to you, Joseph. Happy to have you in here. Morty M writes back in, Lank, Roll Tide, baby. Let's do it. Don Parker in here. I keep saying Bama should not sleep on Montgomery. A lot of talent comes from my city. It always has. A lot of talent comes from the Gump. A lot of talent comes from Montgomery. And so Kagan DeBoer, this coaching staff, you got to continue recruiting the city of Montgomery, the capital of the state of Alabama. Got to continue doing that. Joseph Higginbottom writes in, 10 days. Get ready for some football. 10 days. Here we go. We got my man Robert Hale, Robert from Ohio, giving us that link. Appreciate you, Robert, giving us that link right here on the show. All of you guys continue commenting in, getting your thoughts in, getting your ideas in here on the show. But right now, we get to the first topic here of conversation. And this Alabama defense, the second scrimmage, everybody's talking about how physical it was. Whether it was Kagan DeBoer, Kane Womack, Nick Sheridan, players, assistant coaches, everybody's talking about just how physical that second scrimmage was at Bryant-Denny. And defensively, as I've mentioned this before, them guys was out there hitting people, thumping people, laying folks out, bringing the wood. Whether it was defensive linemen, linebackers, defensive backs, those guys were not playing around on that defense. And a position that's starting to get even more interesting defensively is that Husky position, that nickel slot cornerback spot for Alabama in the 4-2-5 swarm, that Husky position there. Kane Womack talked about that spot has a lot of responsibility when you discuss run support, when you look at putting pressure on the quarterback if need be, when you talk about defending receivers in the slot, even at times taking on tight ends if the moment calls for it. A lot is expected from that Husky position, but that spot's gotten pretty interesting. Devontae Smith, the fourth-year DB in the 2021 class from Cincinnati, Ohio, Smitty, who has battled through some injuries, endured some tough moments, finally healthy, finally really, really good to go, added some weight. He's now 208 pounds. He is the expected guy to start in that Husky spot. But the two guys to keep your eye on, one is Red Morgan. The other is Penn State transfer King Mack. And King Mack, these last two scrimmages, has put on a show in terms of creating turnovers, getting interceptions, had a pick six in the second scrimmage. Coach Womack talked about King Mack instinctive, very, very physical, fast, highly athletic. He's a gamer out there. He's a guy that in scrimmages, he really elevates his level of play. It's King Mack. who is now 5'10", 206 pounds. Added some weight to his frame in the offseason. Went from 190 to 206. Now, King Mac is from South Florida, Miami, Florida. Went to the powerhouse St. Thomas Aquinas High School. Alabama picked up a lot of marquee athletes from that program. And a marquee guy, so King Mac, the latest of that group. Now, he's going to get a lot of reps here on the field in this upcoming season. How many reps we'll see? Kane Womack's going to look to play a lot of defensive backs out there. But the question becomes here is how much of an impact can Mac make? Kane Womack talking about, hey, this guy athletic, this guy instinctive, this guy's a gamer, this guy elevates his level of play. When we're out there at Bryant-Denny, he has stepped it up here in practice. And while Devontae Smith would be the expected starter, how much of an impact can King Mac make? I think he can make a pretty significant impact here because Red Morgan's going to get his too. He's going to get his reps in here too. But when I look at Red is the future, right? He's the future. And he's got some time. He's going to get out there. He's going to get spot play. He's going to get reps. He's going to get prepared to be that guy 2025 on out. But when you look at King Mac, how much of an impact can he make in this upcoming season? Just really excited to hear his growth and his progression, him being able to dominate there in fall camp, him being able to turn in interceptions, collect those turnovers, him getting some pick sixes out there, laying the wood out there physically, like what King Mac is bringing to the table. This is a transfer DB that's stepping up. But how much of an impact, Bama Nation, can we see him making here in this season coming up here in 10 days? But we're going to go to our first quick break here on the show. Don't touch that down. We're just getting started here, people. When we get back, we're going to go in the comment section. We're going to take your comments, your thoughts here, your conversations. But for right now, we're going to first get our word from our guys at Alumni Hall. Be right back. We're out here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa. Oh, yeah, oh, man. Gotta get this. Gotta get one of these right here. Can't rock that Bama without this shirt right here, fresh polo. You gotta also rock the all pink, like Kanye West right there. Keychains, gotta get you some keychains. University of Alabama keychains. I'm telling you, if you are a die-hard Alabama fan and you're looking for some big-time apparel, this place has got everything. We're talking shirts, shoes, sweatshirts, hoodies, cups, mugs, keychains. If you're just a Tide fan that has an itch to get more apparel, get more swag in your game, you come right here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa, right here in Midtown Village. And also you can shop online. The link is in the description to get your gear right here at Alumni Hall. You guys know what time it is. You go get that gear, baby. Get that gear. Our guys at Alumni Hall, shouts out to them. Tuscaloosa, Midtown Village, helping us out. Great support of Touchdown Alabama magazine. I love the guys there at Alumni Hall. But right now, we get back to the conversation. We get to your comments right here. So how about David Sprinkle riding in Roll Tide Roll, ready for Bama to kick butt out here on this field? Starts in 10 days. August 31st. Bama, Western Kentucky, inside Bryant-Denny. I'm pumped. Coach Warren writes in, the second scrimmage was violent. That it was. You had some big-time hitting. You had some big-time thumping. You had some guys that were not playing around, especially on defense. That first scrimmage was more so about the offense. We heard a lot about Jalen Milroe, Ty Simpson, the running backs, wide receivers, including Ryan Williams. The second scrimmage, the defense said, hold my beer. Let me go out here and show you a little something. And the defense went out there and showed them guys a little something. We talked about some hits, some turnovers, pressure in the pocket. DeBoer hit the cornerback, stayed on the receivers all game long. You had offense couldn't run the football the way it wanted to. A lot of physicality, a lot of brute physicality out there in the second scrimmage. So for us as fans and consumers of Tide football, we want to see this team take what it did from the second scrimmage and apply it to a whole season, right? That's the goal. Take exactly what you did from scrimmage 2 and apply it throughout the entire season. My boy Damon Davis writes in, Bama about to pimp slap the league, mama say. You shout out to LL Cool J. All right, you know what? Mama said knock you out. Shout out to LL Cool J. So, hey, Damon, Bama going to pimp slap this league, bro. They're going to pimp slap the entire league, bro. I'm ready. I'm ready. And I see you ready also, but I'm ready. Let's see here. We got Naquanta Steele with that Roll Tide. Quanta Steele, happy to have you in here. Roll Tide to you as well. All of you guys for writing in. Coach One with that B-side 5 till I die. There we go. That B-side 5 love. That's real. It's the real love right there. So we got that B-side 5 from Coach One. We appreciate that. Don Parker writes back in. I'm happy all the talk ends soon. Ready to see what this team is going to be about. The talking season done is over. The talking season done is over. We're about to kick this ball off in 10 days. And we're about to see what type of Alabama team takes this field to put fear in the hearts of opposition here. Let's see. Jay Clark writes in. We got a long season, Steve. When do you think DeBoer starts playing the 2s and the 3s? Good question. Those guys, Jay, will get reps throughout the season. I can definitely see, during the middle of the year, maybe the 2s and 3s get more action. Middle of the year, close to the middle of the year, I can see that. But those guys are going to get reps throughout the year, though. They're going to get reps throughout the year because of the fact that it is going to be a long season. Got a 12-team playoff. The season doesn't end until January 20th. So those 2s and 3s, they're going to get reps there. Alabama Retro writes in Roll Tide. Appreciate it, Alabama Retro. Carl Maine with that. I've seen that clip of more. Carl, I mean, I love my guy, Cole Adams. But Malachi lit Cole up. Malachi lit Cole Adams up, boy. I was just happy Cole was able to get off the field. Right? That clip right there, that just shows you how physical the defense was in that second scrimmage. It just showed you right there. Alabama Retro writes in, this year will be more confident than last year for sure. It will be more confident than last year. You got a more confident coaching staff. You got a more prepared coaching staff. You got a coaching staff that actually knows what's doing out there. I mean, coaching staffs in years past didn't quite know at all, period. So you have a confident coaching staff. You have a coaching staff that knows what's doing, and it's going to have these guys in the right position to go out there and make plays. Rick Ivory writes in, let's shut out Western Kentucky. That would be a great way, Rick, to start the season. Pitching a shutout. First game of the year. Home opener. Pitching a shutout. That'd be a great way to start it. Let's see here. Christian Hughes. Bama Nation, we like our defense violent. Bama Nation, you guys have always loved the defense violent. Christian, you are correct. I understand the last few years with Tua Tagovailoa and Mac Jones and Bryce Young, we had this big-time passing game. I understand that. We had this fun offense and putting up points and scoring, and it was cool and everything. But at the end of the day, what marks Alabama football? That defense not playing no games with people. And so to get back to having a defense that doesn't play games with people, this is what we want to see. We want to get Bama wants to get back. We all want to get back to Bama having that defense that doesn't play any games with folks. Absolutely. Appreciate all of you guys coming in. Damon Davis writes in, hey, Steven, is there any way we can get Rolando McClain in here to coach the linebackers? I mean, Rolando isn't doing anything at this point, so that'll be one for Coach DeBoer. If Coach DeBoer and Kane Womack, if they're able to reach out to Rolando, if Nick Saban is able to help them reach out to Rolando, that'd be something nice, because I know Rolando ain't doing nothing at this time. So, I mean, if you could have him coach the linebackers, that'd be great right there. Rick Ivory writes back in, this defense going to be stingy with points. That's the one thing that Kane Womack, Rick, wants to do. Be great on third down defense. Be great situational defense. Be great in creating turnovers. But most importantly, be great in limiting points. Not having a whole bunch of points scored on you. That's one thing Coach Womack wants to do. Don Parker writes in that B-side 5 love right there. Got that B-side 5 in here. Bama. Being about it this year. Damon Davis writes back in. Bama 56, Western Kentucky 0. So already a prediction here from Damon. Deborah Ferguson writes in, do you think our defense will bring the wood? Deborah, I think it will. It's brought the wood all fall camp, Deborah. It's brought the wood. Whether it's the linebackers, whether it's the defensive secondary, the defensive linemen, everybody on this defense, Deborah, has been bringing the pain. They've been bringing the pain this whole offseason. 100%. We got my man Roll Tide and Rise Up. Y'all know what it is. He said hit the like button. Do that. Hit that thumbs up. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Show that support. Daily Super Chat Go, $100. Daily Super Chat Go, $100 right there. We appreciate that. Marcus Cartel, Roll Tide, everybody. Appreciate you being in here, Marcus. Don Parker answering the question from Damon Davis. McClain in the locker room would be interesting. If you have Rolando McClain in that locker room, look, it may scare some folks, but it will also motivate a lot of people, because he was the first scary linebacker in terms of his play on the field in the Nick Saban era. So there you go right there. Jay Clark writes in, I'm ready to see what this Swarm D is all about. What is this Swarm D that Kane Womack bring? What's it about? All 11 guys flying to the football. All 11 guys making plays on the football. What is this Swarm D going to be about right here? Coach Warren writes in, the players are hungry that they are. They're hungry. They've looked at it last 3 years. No national championship. Trying to win a national championship. They're about that brotherhood. I'm excited about this team. We got Siobhan Pompey in here. Let's go. And she's got the link. Siobhan read it. She got the link in here. Roll Tide, we ready? We are ready, Siobhan. We are ready to go. Ready to go. Kevin Smith writes in, Saban, he hired great coach. Yes, they knew what they were doing. Come on, man. I'm going to say this. Kevin, there were some coaches that were hired that were not necessarily great. Pete Golding was not necessarily great. Let's just be honest about that. Bill O'Brien wasn't necessarily the greatest thing in the world. Let's just be honest about that. Let's see here. You know, there were some coaches that were not. Tommy Reese was decent, but still could have been better. Could have been way better. Charles Kelly in the secondary? No, absolutely not. No. So there were some coaches that were hired by Coach Saban that were not the best of coaches. I'm just saying. Coach Warren writes in, the players are hungry and they got something to prove, right? Coach Warren, players are hungry. They got something to prove. Alabama Retro, September 28th is the game of the year. Say I'm lying, LOL. That game against Georgia is the measuring stick game, Retro. That's the measuring stick game. It's not the only game, but it is the measuring stick game, because that game is going to put us in the mindset of Where is Coach DeBoer? How good is this Alabama team? The Georgia matchup will show us how good is this Alabama team, period. How good is this team? Marcus Cottrell writes in, all the talking sounds great, but are the wide receivers showing they can create space? Marcus, yes. And it's all of them. Kendrick Law is showing you. Kobe Prentice is showing you. Jeremy Bernard is showing you. Ryan Williams is showing you. Caleb Odom is showing you. All of these receivers are showing they can create separation, whether it's at the top of the route, before the route, getting the free release. They can create separation. Stacking on top of a defensive back, they can create separation out there on this field. Oscar Wilson writes in, how do you feel about the linebackers and safeties? Do you think they'll hold up against these ranked opponents? I think the linebackers will hold up. I think the safeties will hold up. You got two really good inside linebackers with Deontay Lawson, Jihad Campbell. Your safeties, you got two of the best in college football, Malachi Moore, Keon Saab. I think the linebackers and safeties will hold up this season. Let's see here. Damon Davis writes in, Steven, if this defense is just plain nasty, what name should we give them? I think, Damon, we're going to hold that until we see some games. They're out there. They playing nasty. They being physical. Then we'll start to develop some names here for that defense. But let's hold off on that for just a moment. Eugene Ingram writes in, pressure from the defensive end, wolf position will determine how successful this defense will be. Not just pressure from the defensive end and the wolf, Eugene, but the interior of that defensive line, your D tackles. Your D tackles whipping up on people, that will also determine the success of this defense. Those D tackles, Tim Keenan, Jaheim Otis, them guys right there, the success of the defensive tackles whipping up on guys will play a huge role. Damon Davis writes in, just pray, stay healthy all season. That's the main thing. No bad injuries. No bad injuries, period. Don Parker, you got to count on Don to always say this. I'm not thinking about Georgia. I'm thinking about Western Kentucky. One play at a time, one game at a time, period. Focus being Western Kentucky. Get that first game out of the way. Let's see if Christian Hughes writes in. I want this year's Alabama team like the movie Life. We taking everybody's cornbread. Hey! Gotta take everybody's cornbread. Collard greens too. Didn't Lil Wayne say I want the money and the crumbs? Yeah, that. Money and the crumbs, all of that. Yeah. See Bama with the roll tide till you see Bama. Absolutely. We got Walter Roberts. Is the defense back to being physical? Yes, Walter. Second scrimmage was violent. Guys was hitting out there defensively, flying around the field, knocking guys out. Every coach, every player was talking about just how physical the second scrimmage was there on the defense. Marcus Cottrell writes in, does the team look disciplined? It does. King of the boards mentioned, not a whole bunch of penalties. Bama has cut down on those unnecessary penalties. The false starts, the offsides, the illegal motions, all that type of stuff. They've cut down on that. So, hey, Alabama, a lot more discipline here coming into this season. But we're going to get a topic, too, in the conversation here, folks. And Bama's got a former four-star wide receiver who has been turning heads the latter part of fall camp as we're getting ready to get into game week soon. Everybody's been talking about Ryan Williams and Caleb Odom, as you should. They're both five-star electric playmakers at wide receiver. But there's a four-star out there who's turning up. Folks, allow me to direct your attention to Rico Scott for just a moment. Rico Scott, 6'7", well, not 6'7", my guy, he ain't that tall, my bad. Rico Scott, 6 feet, 197 pounds. Rico Scott from Pennsylvania. The last wide receiver Bama got from the Pennsylvania area was Robert Foster from Monica, Pennsylvania in 2013. And we all remember how fast Robert was, how much of a speedster he was, how talented he was, and what could have been, if not for an injury or two, what could have been for Robert Foster. However, Alabama does go back up to the Pennsylvania area, and they get Rico Scott, who wears number 11. Rico Scott, who had a phenomenal high school career, ended that with 177 catches, 3,075 receiving yards, 50 touchdowns. He had 23 touchdown catches his senior year. Rico Scott, out here in practice, especially this last week or so of fall camp, he's been turning it on. In the second scrimmage, he had 2 or 3 touchdown catches. I got a chance to talk to Kobe Prentice today, junior wide receiver. Prentice said, man, Rico been going crazy, man. Rico be going crazy. He didn't adapt it here. Very talented, very skilled. Had 2 or 3 touchdowns in the second scrimmage. That boy going crazy. So you are seeing Scott's production. And it just speaks to the depth in this wide receiver room. Like, all of these guys are track star guys. All of these guys got speed. They can create separation. But just the playmaking ability that each one of them have, even down to the freshmen, right? Ryan Williams can make plays. Caleb Odom can make plays. Rico Scott can make plays. Bubba Hampton can make plays. Amari Jefferson can make plays. All of these guys can make plays. So to hear about Rico Scott today was a big deal, because all camp long we get information on Ryan Williams. And once again, the guy's an absolute baller. We get information on Caleb Odom, and he's an absolute baller. But to get information on Rico Scott and how he's done and how he's progressed and how he's continuing to, excel, and what he's done in fall camp, and how the Crimson Tide is looking for situations to get, him on the field in this wide receiver rotation and have him unleash his skill set and his ability upon the college football world. It just makes it that much more exciting. Bama's got receivers. I'm tired of hearing these national prognosticators. Oh, Bama ain't got no receivers. They ain't got them. Shut up. Bama's got receivers. Yes, they may not have the marquee name right now. I get it. But just wait this season. They're going to show you exactly who they are and why they are a big deal. Bama's got receivers. But the guy's been turning heads so far the last few weeks, the last couple of practices here, scrimmages here in fall camp. Keep your eyes on Rico Scott. That young man can play, can flat out play. We're going to take another break here, folks, from the show. Don't touch that dial, though. When we get back, return to your comments. We're getting your thoughts here on the other side of the break. But right now, another word from our guys at Alumni Hall. We're out here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa. Oh, yeah. Man. Gotta get this. Gotta get one of these right here. Can't rock that Bama without this shirt right here, fresh polo. You gotta also rock the all pink, like Kanye West right there. Keychains, gotta get you some keychains. University of Alabama keychains. I'm telling you, if you are a die-hard Alabama fan and you're looking for some big-time apparel, this place has got everything. We're talking shirts, shoes, sweatshirts, hoodies, cups, mugs, keychains. If you're just a Tide fan that has an itch to get more apparel, get more swag in your game, you come right here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa, right here in Midtown Village. And also you can shop online. The link is in the description to get your gear right here at Alumni Hall. Y'all know what time it is, baby. We're back into the action from the break. Hottest show on the streets right here, talking your Bama football news. You get you that gear from our people, Alumni Hall, Midtown Village in Tuscaloosa. Shouts out to all of those guys helping us out here, making this, helping us out here at Touchdown Alabama Magazine. You get that stuff right there at Alumni Hall. But go back into the comment section. Jarvis S. writes in, Rico Scott. That's right, Rico. Stepping up. We talked about Ryan Williams. We've talked about Caleb Odom. That second scrimmage was Rico time. Kobe Prentice, Rico out there going crazy, man, in terms of the production. Tally Ho 03, Uncle Rico about to blow up. Yeah, baby. Uncle Rico is about to blow up. Uncle Rico about to do his thing, Tally Ho 03. I agree with that. Now, the question will be, how much action does it get out there on the field, right? Kangan DeBoer, Nick Sheridan, Jamarcus Shepard, they want to play these receivers, but how much action in this 12-team playoff, this long season, is Rico going to get? I think he'll get quite the amount of action, though. Dontrell Poindexter right in. How's everyone doing tonight? I wonder how effective the offensive line will be. We're doing great. Dontrell, offensive line, I think they'll be very effective. Caden Proctor has won his spot back at left tackle. Right tackle, you still got that competition going between Wilkin Formby and Elijah Pritchett. Parker Brailsford at center, snapping the ball beautifully. No bad snaps from him at all. Thank you, Lord. So, yeah, offensive line will be effective. Offensive line will be fine. Coach Chris Kapovich doing a great job with those guys. David Williams writes in, I'm thinking 52-3. I give him 3 late fourth quarter doing mop-up. So that's David's score prediction for Alabama, Western Kentucky. He's got 52-3. David's giving the Hilltoppers 3 there. Jay Clark writes in, how's the helmet mic working out? Are they still doing hand signals or what? The helmet mic is doing wonders right now, Jay Clark. It's helping a lot with communication. Now, there may be times where you may still see a signal or two with the hand, but this communication in the mic and the headset mic, it's been great. I mean, the linebackers love it. Defensive backs love it. Defensive linemen have been enjoying it. Both coordinators, Nick Sheridan, Kane Womack, they've enjoyed it. So I think the helmet mic is doing a good thing. It's been a real positive for Alabama in the fall camp. So I look forward to it being a positive in the regular season. Don Parker writes in, how the interior D-line plays will be big for this entire team. They need to be bullies but disciplined. And hopefully, Coach Roach pushing them to step up. Bama will need them. Freddie Roach, Jamie Mosley, both guys are pushing this defensive line to step up and be marquee bullies out there on the field. But like you mentioned, you're going to need this defensive line pressure in the pocket. You're going to need this defensive line stopping the run. You're going to need this defensive line creating friction for opposing offenses out here on the field. Monica Petaway writes in, Roll Tide, everyone. Roll Tide to you, Monica. Happy to have you in here. Roll Tide and rise up. You got to get those University of Alabama keychains. I mean, you got to get them keychains, though. Like, you got to get your hands, man, on them keychains, man. That's the best part of the whole commercial. That's the best part of the whole commercial, man. Some keychains. Let's see here. Coach Warren, I can't wait to see you again and get some insight from you. Hey, Coach Warren, hey, link up with me. Link up with me. I ain't hard to find, brother. Link up with me, and we can chop it up. We can definitely chop it up. Oscar Wilson writes in, Paul Feinbaum ticked me off saying Bama's done. Look, Paul is doing what he does. Paul stirs the pot. That's what ESPN pays him to do. They pay him to stir the pot, to make crazy, wild claims. That's what they pay Paul to do. Paul's just doing his job. He's just doing his role. Stirring the pot till some Bama's done. We all know this program ain't done. We all know this. And I think low-key, if you were to feed Paul some truth serum, Paul will tell you this program ain't done. But Paul, playing the game of ESPN, playing his role, just stirring the pot. Jarvis S. writes in, just watched the Lank documentary. It was very dope. The Lank documentary was good. And it just shows you the unselfishness of Milroe and Terrion Arnold, allowing their teammates to benefit off Lank, leaving that for them, right? And that's awesome. Like allowing the players around you to benefit off Lank, to benefit off that brotherhood right there. Lank documentary was really, really, really good. It was really good. Jarvis S. writes in, Paul Firebomb's a clown. The guy's a pot stirrer. That's what he does. Stirs the pot. That's what he's supposed to do. Oh, the Bama dynasty dead. It was dead before Saban left. And now it's really dead now. That's what Paul is supposed to do. But Alabama's job is to wipe that smirk right off of ESPN's face and win football games. Win, and get in that championship conversation there. Monica Petaway writes in, I'm so excited for football, but I forgot some games to be played this Saturday. But I'm definitely ready for my folks. My folks are doing a gathering for the first game next weekend. Yes, Monica, this is week 0. I understand we're all ready for week 1, but week 0 is this week. So I think tomorrow, being Thursday, there'll be some games. Then Saturday, there'll be some games. Could be some games Friday. I'll have to check that. But the following week is week 1 of the college football season. That's the week where everybody is looking forward to. Marcus Cartel writes in, which group looks more improved? The D-line of a secondary. Good question. Man, that's a tough one. D-line looks more improved. D-line has been consistent all camp. Secondary has been great too. But D-line has been consistent all camp long. Like when you talk to all of the coaches, they've mentioned how this defensive line has been consistent. They've been doing a fabulous job all camp long. They have not let up. Those guys have not let up. Let's see here. We got, oh man, my man Don Parker. Who needs Paul Feinbaum? We got Steve. Hey, Don, I appreciate that, man. Who needs Paul Feinbaum? We got Stephen M. Smith. Hey, Don, you right about that. Don, you right. Don, you are 100% correct. You got me and the 8-track playlist. That's all you need. Me and whatever is going on that 8-track playlist. But Don, I appreciate that. But it's about you guys. It's about you guys, the Bama fans. You guys make my job fun, enjoyable, being able to talk Bama football with all of you. Tally Ho 03 writes in, just saw Spurrier predict Bama win the SEC. Smart man, that head ball coach. Yeah, the old ball coach, Tally Ho, he's smart now. The old ball coach smart. Spurrier ain't slow. Spurrier ain't slow by a long shot now. He ain't slow. So happy to see Coach Spurrier hanging with that Crimson Tide, former Florida quarterback, former Heisman Trophy winner at Florida, former national championship head coach at Florida. So Spurrier ain't slow. He know what it is. Happy to see the old ball coach picking the Crimson Tide there. Let's see. Roll Tide and rise up. Paul Fine ball head never played football in his life. No one cares what he's talking about. Him and Skip Bayless both never play, but have the most to say. True. They never played, but have the most to say in terms of these football programs. But this season, they're going to all see. They're going to all see Bama come out there as the real deal. Every last one of them, they're going to all see. So I ain't even worried about it. Monica Petaway writes in, I enjoyed the picks for captains. Very fitting. Yes, Monica, yes. To have Jalen Milroe, Tyler Booker, Deontay Lawson, Malachi Moore, those are your team captains. And those are the ones that deserve and need to be your team captains. So I'm happy for Malachi, happy for D-Law, happy for Milroe, happy for Tyler Booker. Those 4 need to be your team captains. Cody Heath writes in, hey, Stephen, roll tide to you, Cody. Happy to have you in here. Let's see. Cody Heath also writes in, thoughts on LT Overton? That man's a tank. LT is good. In that bandit position also, LT's going to get action. He's good. Coming over from Texas A&M. A&M did not develop him. Now he's at Alabama where he's getting developed, and he's getting developed properly, the right way, like what LT brings to the table. Let's see here. Tim Nolan writes in, watching Washington beating Texas in the CFP, that offense looks good for Washington. And that was the offense that DeBoer had at Washington. Just saying. And he's brought that to Alabama. He's brought that to the Crimson Tide here. So I'm excited about this. I'm excited about what DeBoer is going to do here. Jay Clark writes in, I'm ready to see the smile on DeBoer's face under the lights the first time. I'm ready to see the smile on DeBoer's face, but I'm also ready to see the intense passion on Kane Womack's face. Remember, I talked about this. It's always good for a coaching staff to have a calming presence and a live wire. Kane DeBoer's the calming presence. Kane Womack's the live wire. He's the loose cannon. I'm really excited to see the passion on Kane Womack's face under the lights. That's going to be good. Tallyho03 writes in, there's no middle ground with Feinbaum. You're either the reigning national champion or you're bums. Feinbaum works in extremes for headlines. True. Absolutely. You are correct there, Tallyho. Siobhan Pompey writes in, yeah, I think Paul is a paid devil's advocate. He knows that lights a fire under Bama. Siobhan, that's what he does. That's what he does, people. That's what he does. He stirs the pot. That's what he does. But this season, I gotta say it, everybody on ESPN, they're gonna see this season. They are going to see this season that this Alabama team is nothing to play around with. Absolutely nothing to play around with. Appreciate all of you guys writing in, give us your thoughts on the show. Yes, hit the like button, run it up, absolutely. Keith Holcomb, Roll Tide, y'all. What's up, Steve? I'm doing good. Marcus Cottrell. So if the defensive line looks much improved, do you think the pass rush will get home to help out the young secondary? Yes, the pass rush, Marcus, it'll get home. Pass rush will get home. And it'll get home by a number of guys. It won't just be, the usual suspects. Be a number of different guys that will make sure the pass rush will get home. The pass rush will hit on these opposing quarterbacks in college football, especially those on Alabama's schedule. Let's see here. Appreciate you, Tallyho03. She's got the Pac-Man sign on me over Feinbaum. So I appreciate you, Tallyho03. Thank you. Cody Heath writes in, is LT ready to go? LT's a dog, man. Has had a great camp. Of course, Tallyho agrees with that. LT's a dog. Has had a great camp. He is definitely prepared to go. Keith Holcomb with that $1.99. Let's go! In the super chats, he writes in Roll Tide, Stephen, Roll Tide to you, Keith. Happy to have you in here. Let's see. Don Parker writes in, watched a few replays of Washington recently. Parker Brailsford's a great center with excellent feet. Just hope he put on enough weight to deal with these SEC monsters. He has put on weight. He's now 290. He came at 275. He's now 290, and he's probably added on a bit more. So Parker Brailsford, he has put on weight. He has put on weight here, which is huge. Mattress Matt writes in, we say we have issues at corner, but who would you rather have than Mbakwe and Xavier Brown? I put them against any other corner in the country. Mattress Matt, you're correct. Xavier Brown and Mbakwe have had so much promise throughout the fall camp. I mean, they've had so much promise. So Xavier Brown, Zay Mincy, those guys are the real deal. Those guys are the utmost real deal, like both of those guys, especially Bach. The way Bach has grown, the fact that he has not been just a straight corner for a long time, and now he's coming here and he's played that cornerback position. He's picked it up fast. Love what Bach is doing. Let's see here. Marcus writes in, who do you think eventually wins that right tackle battle? I think it's Wilkin Formby. I think Wilkin eventually wins that battle. I think Elijah Pritchett ends up being the backup for either Formby or Caden Proctor. So I think Wilkin Formby ends up being the starting right tackle there. But appreciate all of you guys giving the short thoughts here on the show. We're going to quickly get into final topic of conversation, and that the physicality's back at Alabama, y'all. The physicality's back. Bama's back physical. Bama's back physical. They're back hitting guys, running through guys, flipping guys over, taking guys off their feet. Bama is back playing a physical style, a physical brand of football. And this is what makes you happy as an Alabama fan and a consumer of Tide football. When you got a Bama team playing physical, they're playing with anger, they're playing with control, passion, they're playing with discipline, they're playing with flair, they're flying around the field. You got guys with a mad hunger to them. And you got guys that haven't won anything yet, right? And that's what enhances that hunger. That's what enhances that physicality. The mass majority of players on this team don't know what a national championship looks like. You got a few guys on this team with a championship ring from the 2020 COVID season. Malachi Moore has one. Q-Rob has one. Tim Smith has one. You got a few guys. Jamarian Latham has one. But the mass majority of guys on this team, they don't have a national championship ring. I mean, Keon Saab has one coming over from Michigan. But the mass majority, they don't have a national title ring. So these guys are hungry. And that's where that physicality comes into play. These guys have got something to prove. This version of Alabama has something to prove. And Bama that has something to prove is the most dangerous version of Alabama. An Alabama team with a hunger, an Alabama team with something to prove, an Alabama team that feels like it's been disrespected, but they don't have to say it. They just put forth the action on the field. That's the Bama team that you have to be the most afraid of, because they know you're disrespecting them. You know that you're disrespecting them. They're just not going to say it to your face, but they are going to get it done to you on that field. And that's what I'm the most excited about, watching this Bama team getting it done on that field. But these guys are physical, man. This is a physical bunch of dudes, and they're hungry, they're nasty, they're ready to get after it right now. We got my man Don Parker with that $20 donation right there. Appreciate you, DP. We got Stephen M. Smith. He will be bumping the Ramma Jamma in the 8-track soon. Yeah, I'll be doing that. I will be bumping the Ramma Jamma in the 8-track soon. Yeah. We got my guy, Morty M. Anything on Noah Carter? Growing as an outside linebacker, Morty. Noah's growing. Has got pass rush moves on him. Has got good potential on him. He's the guy for the future. He's the guy for the future. Absolutely. TallyHo03 writes in, good to have a player-led team again with Booker, Milroe, Moore, and others. This is where this newfound togetherness spawns from. Yes, that togetherness. You got to have that togetherness. You got to have that. Monica Petaway writes in about Jeremy Bernard. Jeremy Bernard belonged at Bama from the get-go. Jerm is here. Jerm is happy to be here. I'm happy to have Jerm here. I'm ready to go, man. I am happy to have Jerm here. Let's see here. Marcus writes in, do you think Turbo Rogers decommits? I hope not, because Coach KD likes to utilize two backs. I don't think Turbo decommits because of the fact that you're going to see Quay Russaw and James Smith, both guys from Carver High School in Montgomery. They both playing this year, and Turbo's from Carver also. So I think both of those guys playing this season will keep Turbo in line, Turbo in pocket here for the Crimson Tide. That's just my opinion. I don't think Turbo leaves Alabama just due to You're playing Rusall. You're playing James Smith. And that will keep Turbo in pocket there. Keith Holcomb writes in, Stephen rolling in that old school Caprice with the 24 spinners. But hey now, don't y'all let me call Unc and get that Caprice for real now. Don't y'all let me get Unc on the phone and get that Caprice. I think he still got it. Don't y'all let me get Unc on that phone and get that Caprice for real now. I'm going to be really bumping down, University Boulevard with the Rama Jamma blasting right there. There we go. There we go. But appreciate all of you guys making this your show, your spot here for all things Crimson Tide football. Bama fans, you want the best in news, notes, information, coverage, entertainment on your favorite program. That being the Crimson Tide. You can get this by accessing the Touchdown Alabama magazine app. You download the app from the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple, Google Play Store if you got the Android phone. For your audio needs, check us out. iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm, iHeartRadio, Google Play. We got you covered right there. The good and gracious Lord sees fit. I'll be back in studio Friday to give you more Bama football. Remember, Tide Nation, you subscribe to touchdownalabama.com. Do that today. Subscribe to touchdownalabama.com to get all of your coverage. Fall camp winding down. Touchdownalabama.com. Get all of your coverage right there. But I want to appreciate all of you, the Bama Nation, for the donations, for commenting in the comment section, for doing what you do to make this your spot, your show, your network for all things Tide football. Till Friday, folks, enjoy your evening. I'm your man, Stephen M. Smith, and you've been listening, as always, to my own words.